Hello everybody, it's me, Riffraff Hornhelm, and I'm back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault. And today we have a monster review. Now today's monster comes to us from the original Deities and Demigods, and it is part of the MELNIBONEAN mythos. So this is the original printing before MELNIBONEAN was removed as one of the ones in the book because of a dispute with Chaosium at the time. And the creature we're talking about today is the Mist Giant. The Mist Giant is part of the MELNIBONEAN mythos, and it's a large creature, about 8 foot tall, over, usually that much above the ground. They have 4 arms. They have kind of a misty white, billowy body, seeing as they're a mist giant. And they live in bogs and swamps where it's perpetually foggy. In their environment, they are virtually invisible, 90% unlikely to be seen. They surprise on a 1 to 5 when they're operating in that environment. They're chaotic evil creatures. They are not very intelligent, but they attack 4 times per round, doing 3 to 18 points of damage per strike. And they have a -6 armor class and 12 hit dice. That's a pretty potent creature right there. You also need to have a +2 or better weapon to strike them, though they do have standard magic resistance. Now, once again, this comes from the MELNIBONEAN mythos. Could you tie this in wherever you like? Absolutely. It's a creature. It's not a god. There's no special attributes to it other than the fact that it takes +2 or better to hit it. It doesn't have any specific magic abilities. It's just very difficult to see, and because of that, can surprise you very easily. They don't show up in huge numbers. You know, if it's a wandering, it's just a few. But it would make a very interesting encounter, and it's one that your players, are they likely to know this? You know, if you go back to the earliest days of when Deities and Demigods first came out, there were a series of releases. First, they took out the Cthulhu mythos, and for a brief time it was printed just with the Cthulhu mythos missing, but still had MELNIBONEAN in it. And then that came out too, and the version that was available to most of the general public had neither the Cthulhu mythos or the MELNIBONEAN mythos in it. It's all available online, thanks to all the open stuff that the current owners have reluctantly allowed to continue, because it would have been stupid if they didn't. But the bottom line is that this is a creature that's not likely to be known by your players. And if you're trying to set something up for your adventuring party that will be a surprise to them, but is still manageable, this isn't a bad one. Now, mind you, the -6 armor class, that's pretty hard to get by. If you want to do damage to it, it pays to have magic available to you in this case. It would make a really big difference. You got 12 hit dice to get through, and with a -6 armor class and +2 or better weapons to hit it, magic is going to be a better option. But it's an interesting creature. Now, because it comes from the MELNIBONEAN mythos, I can tell you as a dwarf, yeah, we didn't know anything about this other than what we read. But in the gaming world, it's a little bit different. I had to ask, has anyone out there from the greater Hornhelm community, DMs or players, run across this creature? Well, regrettably, no. I didn't run across one. I used it once, a long, long time ago. If I have to base it on what I used it as a DM, I'd get a pretty high ranking, about a 7.5, mainly because of that armor class and the difficulty that you had in hitting it. But I couldn't find any other people who had experience with this. There were some that were aware of it, but had never used it. It's a pretty powerful creature. I don't think you could rate it less than about a 7. And I wouldn't rate it higher than about an 8. But that's just my view. You could try it in your dungeon, and then let us know. What did you think? So a very interesting creature. The MELNIBONEAN Mythos, of course, Elric and Stormbringer and all that kind of good stuff. If you haven't read that, highly, highly, highly recommend it. That's high fantasy at its best. So, that, my friends, is the Mist Giant. We hope you found today's presentation to be interesting, I don't know, amusing, all that kind of good stuff. If you did, please be so kind as to leave us a like, consider subscribing if you haven't. Drop us a line, share with your friends, but by all means, come back and see us again real soon. We thank you so much for your kind support. Take care, everyone, and remember, dwarves rock!